Everyone, lately I have been lucky enough to get a summer temp job over a few weeks, and this temp job consists of cleaning offices and apartment stairwells. This is, as you might guess, pretty hard work already, but some people just have to make it harder for me. I've always been annoyed by people who litter, toss trash on the ground, but it isn't until now that I realize how fucking idiotic people are. Sometimes when we're cleaning, or well, when I'm just generally walking around, we can find paper and other garbage as near as 5 meters from a trash can. How lazy do you have to be to throw your trash on the ground when there is literally a garbage bin 5 meters away from you? Like, these people must have been raised with so much lack of respect and understanding of the real world that they think that their garbage will just vanish magically from the ground and never be seen again. In Sweden, where I live, we have garbage bins all over the place. We have garbage bins in the shops, we have garbage bins in the streets, we have trash cans on the toilet, we have trash cans everywhere. It's really hard to not use a trash can. So, when we're walking around and we see trash on the ground very close to one, you can understand why I am getting so agitated. Because, surely these people who throw their trash on the ground must be a perfect example of people who lack the basic qualities of a decent human. 1. They're lazy as fuck. 2. They have no respect. And 3. They obviously do not have enough brain capacity to operate in a modern society. Now, if you are one of those people that do throw trash on the ground every now and then, you should feel very hit by this video, because I am talking about you, not just everybody else. The problem with most people who throw trash on the ground is that they adopt a mentality that is all about, well, one little paper isn't going to hurt the nature, is it? And that is the problem, because everybody has that mentality. That mentality does not work, because that mentality somehow refers to you as being a special case and somebody that deserves to throw trash on the ground more than anybody else. And I can assure you that there are millions and millions of people identical to you and much more deserving of throwing that trash on the ground. So you and everybody who thinks like that are just in the end silly fucking pricks. Now, if you do have a piece of garbage and you think to yourself, that garbage bin is way too far from me, I can't walk over there, my legs are broken, then I would like you to take your head in your hands and rotate your head so that your crotch is now in your field of view. Then I would like you to direct your view at the outer thigh. Now, on your outer thighs, you might recognize something that are slits in your garment and was first used in the 1300s as we use them today. These contraptions are called pockets. You can store things in your pockets. For example, small pieces of garbage that you can dispose of later instead of throwing on the ground and being an asshat. Now, if that instruction was too hard for you to understand, I might have to advise you not to move to Singapore, because Singapore is one of the world's leading countries in taking care of littering. In Singapore, you might face a fine up to $300 because you decided to throw a bit of scrap on the ground, for example a candy wrapper or a chewing gum. The next level of this would be if you throw a paper mug or something larger on the ground, and you could be fined up to $1,000. Or have to spend 12 hours doing community work cleaning up the trash from other people who are as stupid as you. Now, if you still can't get it through your head that you're not supposed to litter in Singapore, they might just have to put you in jail, and they can do that for up to 6 months for recurring offenses against the littering laws. You might also face fines up to $5,000, and that's a very expensive cup of coffee. Now, you might know that Sweden has similar laws when it comes to littering, and we don't accept that in our country, but it is very, very seldomly policed. That means the police aren't there to see it, and therefore nobody's getting punished. I can tell you this much, in Singapore it is very much policed, because Singapore is a very, very small nation and they can do that kind of stuff. Now, littering isn't the biggest issue for any country right now. There sure are way, way bigger issues that any country can have. Maybe your government is really corrupt, maybe your school system is really wank, maybe you can't even get a decent meal or feed your kids, and those are way bigger problems. But littering is one of the most unnecessary problems, because If you don't have food enough for a country, what are you gonna do? You have to solve this with long economic processes and getting better leaders and that stuff. Same with corruption and all that. And it takes a really long time and lots of effort. Littering, do you know what kind of effort that takes? It takes for everybody to stop being a lazy asshole and start picking up their trash, or at least bringing it with them. Or maybe you have really shit garbage disposal services in your country. Well, that's just rubbish then.